It's okay. It's fine. Hazing is cool. I mean, whatever.
Let's not take that quote out of context. But I'm
Friendship
sure
is
it goes
real in sororities now.
We're so much more enlightened.
Yes.
This is A Line Around Your Thoughts, a podcast that centers on conversations with artists, writers, musicians, and creatives from around the Inland Northwest. I'm your host, E.J. Iannelli. This week we're sitting down with visual artist Gwyn Pevonka, who also happens to be the driving force behind the 33 Artists Market. There's a 33 Artists Market coming up this weekend on Saturday, July 26th. It's in a brand new location, and the number of participating artists has tripled for this particular event. Gwyn and I chatted about why she chose to make this her biggest market yet, all the ways that 33 Artists has changed since it launched in 2022, as well as the changes that she's making to her own art. Before we get into that discussion, which ended up covering sororities, the art buying economy, and creative metamorphosis, I'd like to thank our episode sponsor, the Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture. The nationally touring exhibition Preston Singletary, Raven and the Box of Daylight features work by the Seattle glass artist based around Tlingit mythologies. Head to northwestmuseum.org for opening times and more details. And if you would like to support the podcast by becoming a sponsor yourself, reach out to us through our website at alaytpodcast.com. And now, on to the Rogue Heart Media Studio. So welcome, Gwyn.
Yay, so excited to be here. Thanks.
So yeah, I wouldn't want to constrain you simply to founder of the 33 Artists Market, because I know that you have an arts career that extends well beyond that. And that's something that I definitely want to talk about, kind of where you are in your professional career. But you're here because there is a 33 Artists Market that is fast approaching.
Yes.
Don't want to remind you of that, maybe. But yeah, it would be really good to talk about that and how things have changed a little bit, because the cadence has changed, certainly, and the location has changed as well. So yeah, I figured maybe we could just start off with a quick recap of when you founded the market up until the point where it is now. And that was November 2022, wasn't it?
2022, November 2022. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, so it was origin story is that it started at the Hive, a part of my artist residency there. I was there for a 6-month residency to explore new things. And I definitely explored new things in the sense of starting an art market from basically just like a idea that I just wanted to bring people together.
And that just followed the artist in residency program. So you were kind of doing it for the artists in residence, or it was meant to be beyond that?
It was supposed to be beyond that. Yeah. So my requirement of being an artist in residence there was that I had to have some kind of community outreach or workshop or class or artist talk. And I did a lot of mystery art classes where you would like show up. You didn't know what was going to happen or what you were going to make. It was kind of like a good sport class, like just show up and be a good sport. And we did everything from like jelly printing, and we did make your own tote bags and mixed media, and it was just a blast. But that was like, I filled my requirement there, but I always had this idea of it's kind of, the concept is called artist to artist, or like telephone. And you start off with 3 artists, and then those 3 artists invite 3 or like one person, and then those artists invite one person, those artists. So it's like a big web.
I see.
And then I just stopped at 33 because I was 33 years old. There's no like creativity there.
Oh, I didn't know if there was maybe like a mathematical function that was you would arrive at 33 and that was a magic number.
Yeah, I mean it would be like 3 times 3 times 11, 33. No. I wasn't creative in that regard, but I always had this idea like it can't get too big because the Hive's not that big. But it was also like a way for me to meet new people within the community. Like I connected with Rose Honey of Ink and Honey Co. And she's actually the person who's like behind the branding and the logo and just kind of was my soundboard for all of it. She's like, yeah, you should totally do this. And I was like, I will. And then the third person that we had, I believe it was Mallory Batista, who's been doing like great things all around town.
Who's been a guest on here, fairly recently.
Amazing. And then from there, it was just people were just inviting people. And then when we got to the end, it was like, wow, I've never heard of that person before, or, oh, that person's a big deal and they're going to be at this market. And it was just a way for me to take all the knowledge that I've had showing in markets for the last like 15 years and see if I could do it myself. I've always had the dream to do it, but when I was in Knoxville, it just was highly saturated, and I just felt like there was a need in Spokane because all really there was like terrain.
Yeah.
And Art Fest and like some like places outside of here, like Art on the Green. But there wasn't anything that was like regularly happening for emerging and established artists, like where we all came together under one roof. And I mean, the Hive is an incubator for all of that. So I thought it was going to be the perfect place. But yeah, so it started there. And then from having that one show, people were like, are you going to do more of these? And I was like, this is just a pop-up. And then I really started to consider, like, should I do more of these? And, finding a space large enough for 10 by 10 booths is difficult. But I just called around to different places, and the Wonder Building was the one place that was just like, we love what you're doing. Yes, we're on board. Like, the rental was like super inexpensive. The collaboration and the, it was just good. It just, everything fell in line with that. And we had been there for 2 years. Mm-hmm. And then last year, I guess I'm getting all over the place. It was quarterly. And then I thought, let's make it monthly last year. And that basically almost killed me.
Yeah, I was going to ask, because going from a quarterly market to a monthly endeavor is big. Do you feel like you bit off a little more than you could chew with the monthly cadence?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I did.
And how many did you have? A core 33 at each of these monthly markets, or did you start expanding? Because I know when you were at the Women's Club, then you were going as high as 35 and creeping upwards.
Yes. Yeah. So the ones that were happening at the Wonder Building, they were staying at 33 because I had like a rhythm of this is where these booths can go and how it fits all together. A lot of the times I had girl math and I would have to cut myself out because I was like, oh, I didn't measure that right. But yeah, monthly was challenging. I also felt like I wanted it to work like a farmer's market, like it, people enjoyed going once a month, but then people were like, well, I didn't go this month, so I can always catch it next month. And there was no urgency.
Right.
And not saying no excitement. It was exciting. I mean, it was, what in the heck was I doing? I don't know. But I think in my mind, I was like, I want artists to make a living that is sustainable on a monthly basis, because we here in Spokane, I feel like our markets don't start until the summer, and then it goes all the way to Christmas, and there's nothing in the beginning of the year. I mean, there might be like custers, but yeah, that was basically it for spring shows. So I was like, let's just do it. And the people who are running the Wonder Building were like, this will be great. We'll get so much foot traffic in here. That was not the case for all the markets.
And do you think, you were talking about saturation in Knoxville, and Spokane doesn't have the saturation problem, but there's also this component where you have to have a patronage component. You have to have people willing to buy the art. It's not just enough to go out and browse and support and give thumbs up, but they also have to have the disposable income, and they have to have the willingness to spend that disposable income on artists.
And people were just like, you are wild to be doing it during an election year.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking like this would have been that like super upbeat, fun thing. But then I noticed that people were just showing up to browse or showing up to the fun event, grabbing a beer, walking through. And it was not sustainable. But I mean, like, again, I am figuring out as I go. I mean, it's not like I'm making up as I go. I feel like I'm researching what other markets are doing, and not just in Spokane, like Seattle, from Knoxville, Atlanta. I'm constantly trying to see what other people are doing and mimicking, and also growing from their failures. And people are hopefully like growing from my failures. Don't do monthly.
Well, not yet.
Yeah,
there may be a
I
time
think there will be a time.
when Spokane can support that. Yeah, and I think that there's a lot to unpack there in having a built-in art buying public who's willing to come out and shop, and so that you're not necessarily relying on the same people to come out every single market and buy, so you can have the browsers, but you also need, and this becomes an economic question of, does Spokane have enough decent paying jobs, and can it support the art buying public so that there are enough people with enough money to come out and shop at a monthly market? And so even if they don't attend every single one, will they be able to support those artists who are in attendance? And it sounds like in your experience, the answer right now is not really, although an election year and the uncertainty therein didn't help.
Not at all. But I would say, like, there were still obviously wins last year when we were doing monthly. I was able to like completely make my application. Like, now I feel like I am a well-oiled machine, and I know how to like send out things on a really organized basis, and I have deadlines, and like there's no wishy-washy of like you didn't pay your payment. It's like, if you didn't get your payment in, you're not in the show. And that's just kind of like how you have to run a business. You can't be everyone's friend. I mean, I grew in a lot of areas, me professionally, and like how I handle situations. But yeah, I would say Spokane's not ready, but I feel like there will be a day when it is. But I think that's why, like, this year I focused back into doing quarterly, even though it's not really quarterly, it's just 4 shows. And then it has allowed me to partner with other organizations and help develop their markets. And that's kind of been another little like side piece of my business that I've really enjoyed, just collaborating with other businesses like Emerge. I'm helping them with their ink print rally in September.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, and we're going to have our own 33 artist market there that specializes in the media of print, from printmaking to screen printing to using ink. It doesn't have to be specific to letterpress or something like that. So.
And the reason you moved out of the Wonder Building is things got a little rocky there, and so and then you had to move to the, and I say had to, but I'm assuming that it was a willing partnership with the Women's Club.
Yes.
And so you moved out of there or moved from the Wonder Building to the Women's Club, and then you are in, is it the Pergola building?
The Pergola this summer. Yeah. So the end at the Wonder Building was abrupt. However, I have a lot of wonderful mentors in town who also are event planners or do events. And I was like, who should I call? I have a month to find a space. I have artists that I need to show. And funny enough, last year, I threw in another curveball. I had 2 shows in November. I had the one that we did every 3rd Saturday, and then we also did Small Business Saturday.
Right.
Because I had always participated in another event on Small Business Saturday, and it was always a bust for me as an artist. And I was like, no way in HE double hockey sticks am I going to not do well on Small Business Saturday. And I wanted to enjoy it. So I was like, we're going to do one. And it was a great success. Anyways, I called around everywhere, and the Women's Club had both dates available, and I said, done. But with that, I had to pay for those shows out of pocket because of the situation we had at the Wonder Building. So she worked hard for her money. So everything that I made during both of those events was what paid to make those events happen. But when you're in a bind, you just work as hard as you can. But yeah.
Yeah, and you raise an interesting conundrum. It's kind of when you're hosting the party, it's very difficult for you to enjoy it. And here you are, especially when it's monthly, as opposed to annual or quarterly, you find yourself in the perpetual role of host. And so it becomes difficult as an artist to prepare for the very event that you're putting on.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And I actually learned last year that I was not going to vend and volunteer and organize. I have hired out for someone to run my booth while I am just, I do a lot more than just kissing babies and shaking hands, but that's what I titled my role on the day of. But I'm like the snack bar, and I'm the runner and I'm making sure everybody's happy and giving everybody water, and like as an event organizer should, as well as having like a great volunteer base that are basically all of my friends. I mean, they have become my friends because running a monthly show is crazy. But yeah, so this we loved the women's club so much. It was refreshing coming from the Wonder Building, where even though there was not a lot of marketing from the Wonder Building, the women's club has deep roots in Spokane. And when people heard that I was having an event there, they were like, oh, I love that building. I got married in that building. Or I went to some, I don't know, church event there. Or like my mom takes contra dancing there. Like, it's just kind of like a community center. And it's beautiful. It has a really odd smell that's like endearing and comforting, and like I know that's a weird thing. Like,
it smells like wooden brick building.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, so many memories were shared in this building. I don't know if that could be a smell or put that on a candle, but I remember a couple weeks out from the show, I was going door to door, passing out flyers about the event and talking to the neighbors and being like, hey, I'm having this event down here. It's a public event, and it was neighborly. It was community centric. It was what I thought the Wonder Building was, and not saying it isn't. It's just not for what I was trying to achieve with my market, if that makes sense. It's like a sport hub.
Yeah.
And it did not attract as many art foot traffic people as I thought would. But yeah, no, the events at the women's club blew my mind. Outrageously well attended. And it like did not slow down until the last hour for both events. And I was afraid having a new event in a new space less than a month out, like if people were going to even show up.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do all your marketing, you can put out your posters everywhere, and like you can have all your influencers helping you, you can be on the radio and you can be on the TV, but like, are people going to show up?
Yeah.
You never know. But they did. Spokane just like outpoured love on 33 Artists Market in November and in March at the same location. And it just like, again, it wasn't the same people. It was new people. It was all generations. We were talking earlier that like, I felt like a part of me had to let go of the Wonder Building in order for me to experience goodness in a new place, in a new season. And that's just what's happening. And then with the Pergola, I had a vision of doing like 33 times 3, like make a mega show. Our summer shows have always been on the slower side because people are at the lake. They like to be outside. Well, I found a venue that's outside and inside. So you can enjoy like the sunshine, but then also go inside and get your portrait drawn by Heads Up Portrait Club. And I we didn't get to 99 artists. We got to 95.
Oh, so close.
So close. But we have so many other like wonderful vendors, food vendors, that I'm just going to say like that gets to 99. It might not be physical.
The culinary arts or the arts?
Culinary arts. That's what I'm saying. So, and it's like a lot of new people. I've been following your show, and it finally lined up that I can do it, and I am just so stoked about it.
Well, at the Women's Club, it was so successful that you had somebody create a fake event, and they were taking fake registrations, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. Yes, it was.
I want to hear the dirt on that.
Yeah, scams are real. They essentially, I don't know. It was the most like generic name, like Mary Smith Jones.
It was Kim Williams.
Kim Williams,
yeah.
Okay, I can't remember. It was like some like very generic American name. Or like Kathy Marge Smith. That I remember emailing that email many. Stop doing this. But yeah, the scoop is that scams are real, and they basically swiped my poster, like it was 33 artist market, but you had to email this separate email to pay, but it like took my application, like, because it's just Google Forms. I'm not doing any submittable or anything like that. Like I was like, there's certain things that in my business I had to change. Like I got a trademark. So now, like that didn't cost me much money to do that, and it was so simple, but now you can't.
Well, and I should point out that, that Kim Williams and Kathy Marge Smith, like these were aliases. They weren't,
aliases.
It was clearly some either foreign or very strange,
and the
low
sad
level.
thing is that like once like I brought too much attention to it, they moved on to Pennsylvania, and I like saw them in other groups. But I was following the name, and I was warning, vendors on vendor pages on Facebook, like, this person's a fraud. Make sure you tell people, like, and blasted it, not just like Spokane pages, but everywhere. I had one artist who did reach out to me who fell for the scam, and I like was like, thank you for telling me. And at my first thought was like, I'll put you into the show, but like I couldn't. I was at max capacity at the Women's Club, and so still had to figure out how I need to thank that person. But also like scams they're getting harder to detect.
Yeah, and clearly more pervasive if they're seeking out arts markets and then attempting to kind of hijack them. Yeah, it's
and the crazy thing is that like maybe it's like I thought my brand was above getting scammed, and not saying that in like a pretentious way, but like usually the ones that get scammed are like the ones in high school gyms or like the ones that are like a smaller event. But like it was wild. They were using like everything about me, everything about my show. I was at loss for words, and like trying to run a show in a new space, and just like freaking out.
Yeah. But now you're at the Pergola Event Center, and I'm curious as to how many folks are still with you from those very early, from the first Hive market. Is there anyone who's followed you, maybe not through every single monthly market, but who's been there since 2022?
Yes. Linnea Tobias. She is my veteran of veterans. She basically did every single show, except she missed the spring one, this past spring one, but basically every other show. And her work is just wonderful. She's from California, or moved here. I mean, she's been here for a while, but she's like, Spokane's so weird. And we would always talk about like, you're doing something good, and keep it up. And I'm like, how'd you do this month? And we were just like very transparent with each other, and it was just really great camaraderie through the good and the bad. But yeah, she's been with us through most of it. I'm trying to think of, we had Nicole Nutt for a while. She had to get a real job. I'm just kidding. Being an artist is a real job. But she had to get another job to support her family, so she kind of backed off last year. But You know,
Well, it's hard for an
it's
artist too,
yes.
I think, to come out and just as it's hard for art patrons or arts patrons to support the artists month in and month out, it's a big commitment for an artist because you have to produce
Oh,
in order
yeah.
to have stuff to sell. So
Yeah.
that means between those monthly markets, you're working your tail off in order to have, for lack of a better word, product.
And it's crazy because like I know for my like own practice, I had to last year not show every month because I physically could not turn out the work fast enough. And that also creates burnout. And I not only felt it as an artist, I felt it as an organizer towards the end of the year that I was like, should I even do these markets anymore? Like I am so tired, emotionally tired, because it's like, it's not just a 1-day event. It's like months and months of planning and preparing and, schmoozing and talking and networking and doing this and going there. And I can see why like Terrain has a whole fleet of people working on one certain event where it's just me.
And you do have volunteers. Like,
Yes,
about how many
yes.
volunteers do you have?
Per show, probably anywhere from 6 to 10, and probably 2 per every 3 hours. But towards the later times, that's usually when people don't sign up. Like I usually, if I'm volunteering for Terrain, I show up for the later shifts because I know that those are the less attended shifts and the artists are so tired. So that's when I put on like volunteer pants at the end of my shows where I'm coming around with like bits of chocolate because that's something that I would want to like have that little bit of energy, or gummies or something sugary, or you need to walk around the market, or do you need to use the restroom or anything like that. But yeah, I guess it's more of I'm saying like the actual orchestrating of the event is on me. The day of I have help, but everything else it's a me thing.
Yeah.
So I got really tired. But this year I am less tired, and also professionally in my own art, the first like 5 months of this year, I made 0 work.
Yeah.
Absolutely none. And I needed it. I needed the rest. I needed to like focus on what I wanted to create, why I was creating, like what voice am I trying to push out there, instead of it just feeling, I felt like a machine last year, like in all aspects of my life, just trying to white knuckle through.
Well, let's talk about your work and your artistic career. And, for the benefit of listeners who can't necessarily visualize what we might be looking at, let's talk about your art and kind of describe it. Now, you work it's a very tactile format. So it's almost three-dimensional to some extent because there are things that kind of leap off the canvas. And so there's, traditional paints. Is it oils or acrylics?
So I actually work with mist-tinted house paints.
Okay.
And I tint them myself.
So a latex.
Yeah, so
yeah.
I work with a latex paint. It's a lot easier to carve into. So I use paint more as a sculptural medium. And just layer. I'm actually preparing for a show at Emerge. I have a duo show or a duo exhibition with another ceramic artist who just makes these outrageously beautiful ceramic pieces that are like bright neon with a lot of attachments on them.
And who's that by name?
She goes by the Tattooed Sculptress.
Okay.
Her work reminds me of my work, but in actual 3D form, very tactile, very textural based. Hers has a different voice of why she's creating, and I think that's what's really put perspective into like why I'm creating. I just don't want to be like, I like color and I like line and I like texture. Like, why am I creating these things? Or like, why am I creating these pieces? And it can't just be about like monotonous carving or
So what is the why? Why, as you asked yourself that, what is the why to creating that?
That is a great question. I'm still trying to figure it out as I'm creating work right now. I really like to be outside. I'm like honest. I really like. It's interesting because it's interesting because talking about your work as an artist is such a personal thing. And over the years, I've been creating in this particular style for almost 15 years. And it's been so far removed from like what I actually want to be creating. I know that's so really, yeah. Like I think
so. There's a disconnect there.
There's a disconnect, and there was a huge disconnect. So, and it's really, I'm not like trying to go for like sob story or anything like that, but like when there was the fire in Medical Lake, my family, we live in Medical Lake, and I had to like leave quickly, and I grabbed my daughter. But I grabbed none of my art, none of the work that I've collected over the years, nothing. And so I had this like detachment with my work. And I've just kind of been creating pieces out of what was left over from pieces that I've created over the last couple of years, like the last 10 years.
So kind of cannibalizing
scraps.
your own
Yes.
work. Yeah.
It's like, I can't get myself to a place to like just throw it away or like donate it somewhere or like take it over to Art Salvage or like give it to Goodwill. Like I just can't.
Does that make you sad?
Oh, it makes me really sad. Yeah. So like all of the titles of these pieces I'm creating right now are very like not morbid, but like it's like I have a Final Resting Place series, and it's like I'm burying my it's such a terrible.
You're burying your style.
My style, and kind of like trying to kind of cocoon and emerge into something else. And so like that's the show that I'm working through or working on for the show that's in September of this year, and working on putting to death my old self and recreating, or not recreating, but coming into my new style. And it's scary. I know that's really weird.
No, I actually like it. It's the end of an era. And
Yes.
I mean, I think it sounds necessary for both personal and artistic growth.
Yes.
I'm just curious about the metamorphosis and what is going to emerge on the other side. As you rise phoenix-like.
That's how I feel. It's interesting because the way that I am creating pieces is that it's two styles next to each other. So it's almost like an assemblage still, like what I do with my pieces that have been carved away, but it's using different mediums and techniques. And it's almost like one side is being buried or faded away, and then the other side is coming to life. And it's so, I don't know, it's so beautiful. I'm not gonna cry. I've needed this in my work for a long time, and I've not allowed myself to get away from. I'm just obsessed. I've been obsessed with the medium or like creating the style, and it's excited me until it hasn't. And now I'm just kind of like, I got to move on. Like I have to move on. And like everybody's
it's healthy.
like,
it's sad but healthy.
It's sad and healthy. Yes.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because the woman who I'm pairing with, her work is all about like trauma. And how she's, I know, and it's like, and like,
we're fun at parties.
Yeah, really, we're really fun at parties. But like, it is going to be really fun. I mean, like, my color palette is bright chartreuses and like neons, but then also like what I like to call ghost layers. It's like these gesso washes over really intricate drawings, and it's very, I don't know. I don't really know how to I'm really excited about the work I'm creating. I'm afraid to show it.
That's good though.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's
Rather
good.
than being, I think that's superior to being detached from the work and not having that emotional connection to it anymore.
And like, and I like still in my business, like because we have to like make money to pay bills. Like I'm still creating my jewelry and like there's still like that fun because people love it and I love it. And it's, that still it brings joy to me. But like I'm using what I have left. I'm not creating anything new, like new for those pieces. So when it's out, it's out. So get your hands on some Pevonka jewelry. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, and some art too, because
yes.
it's going to be the end of an era. This
Yeah.
is going to be maybe the last run or last time you'll see this.
It's kind of wild.
Yeah.
And I've been, and like the crazy thing is, the funny thing is I've been saying this for like 5 years, but like this show is pivotal. Like I haven't had like, other than like being in markets and like doing like, I'll donate a piece here, or like I haven't had like a solo or a duo exhibition. Like if you've been to the Emerge space, Corey is going to be on all of the podiums and I have all the walls. So like it's a huge space to fill. And like I was asked last year, and I just started working on it in May. And so like it's crunch time, but also like I'm burning that midnight oil, and I have not burned that midnight oil in a very long time, and I am tired and I like it.
But it's its own rush.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. I know that like doesn't give you anything about.
No, I have a better understanding of where you're at.
Yeah.
I do wonder about the size. Like, what size canvases are we talking? Are we talking big?
We're talking big.
That's great.
I'm really excited. Yeah, and yes, we're talking big. Like 40 by 60, which is big for me because I usually do like really bite-sized, cute, sellable, like small pieces. But before I was doing markets, I was making like 4 by 16 foot paintings. So like big boys. And though I cannot create that because I'm in the process of renovating a trailer camper into a mobile studio. And so the size constraints in there is a much smaller, but I'm making it work.
And then in the run-up to this market, you are having artists guest post on Instagram on behalf of 33 artists, right?
Yes,
Is that what you've got going on?
Yeah, so I used to have them like log into my accounts, but then Instagram got a little weird about that. Like, you have lots of hackers. And I'm like, I do not. They're my friends. No, now we have so they're posting to their page and then asking us to collaborate. But people should be posting every day leading up to the event. Each artist got their own day. Whether they did it or not is on them. And then on me, I realized I still have to promote this show. So I'm also doing scheduled posts for that. But yeah, no, I cannot believe we're in July.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've been really active on Instagram. Like, there is almost guaranteed, if you follow the 33 Artist Market account, there's almost guaranteed to be a post that you see when logging in. And the same thing, you'd mentioned Heads Up Portrait Club, and the same thing, they are very prolific posters on Instagram.
Yes, and they're just wonderful people. But it's been... I am being recognized by Trending Northwest as a top content creator in Spokane or in the Inland Northwest, which like when I hear that, I'm like, I have 4,000 followers. I am not an influencer, but what I am.
Those are pretty respectable numbers.
Yeah. It's almost, it's been around for 3 years. But like, I guess my thought is like, I am a content creator, not in the sense of influencer, but like I love Spokane's creative community. And like I want everyone to know about this artist or this artist or this artist or what they're creating or what they're making or what they're exclusively making for 33 Artist Market. Like that's cool. Stories in Stoneware is actually creating like a complete collection around it. She's making all these beautiful mugs. And I'm just like, how cool is that? Is that she's creating a collection for just my market. And I know like artists do that, but like it kind of gives it like, I don't know, this like experience or like this buzz or like I got to get there to get that.
Specialness.
Yeah, it's special.
And that to me is testament to the fact that as much as things have changed, you've gone to different cadences, you have changed venues, and yet the same vibe or the same spirit that launched it at the Hive back in 2022 still exists. There's still this kind of intimacy around 33 artists that it hasn't lost.
Yeah, and I really I still want to have that and let that essence be a part of this larger show. And I do feel like there are ways that I make my artists feel like they're not just numbers on my vendor map. I really genuinely care about who they are and what they're creating. And I am a patron at these markets. I am spending money. I budget. That's in quotations. I blow that budget every single time. But I support local artists financially and also thumbs up. And I'm happy for what I've created here. I really
it's also a heavy lift.
It's a heavy lift.
It's a heavy lift.
Yeah, it's a heavy lift, and I am really excited about this show, and it's just going to be way different than any other show, but it will still have the heart of 33. So, yeah.
Cool. And that might be under other circumstances where we wrap up, but there is a lightning round component to this.
Lightning round.
Yeah,
Let's go.
Most people say, "Oh no, lightning round," and they get a little nervous. I am so glad you embrace it.
But knuckles.
Doesn't
Let's go.
Doesn't that speak to your entrepreneurial spirit?
Yes.
You're like, let's go. Let's go. All right, first one is a very simple either or question.
Oh, no.
Books or magazines?
Books.
Books. Okay, do you want to substantiate that answer a little bit?
Just
why books over magazines?
Okay, so I only read magazines when I'm in an airport.
Oh, wow. Okay. Or a doctor's office.
Or a doctor's office, or when I am trying to actively not look at my phone and people surrounding me. It's because when I'm in an airport, I used to do urban sketching and I would sketch people, but then it got real awkward. And so now I just read magazines.
But in all other cases,
but
it's
all
books.
All over other cases, it's books. And primarily I'm on brand strategy books and embracing the introvert in you. I am an extrovert, but I also have introvert tendencies. After a market, I want to crawl in. I want to eat Taco Bell and then I want to go to bed.
Very few people are one or the other.
Yes.
We talk about this binary as if it's extrovert or introvert, but a lot of people have qualities of each.
Yeah, parts of me are is there one in the middle, a mid-trovert? That's not a thing. But yes, no, books are my thing. I'm actually also reading a really wonderful book, but it's a parenting book, so it's not really that great. But
what's the title?
Oh my gosh, it's about social media. It's yellow. It's a yellow book. Anxious.
Yellow book. Anxious. Social media.
It's about the effects of phone-based childhood and
wow.
the what it does to your brain and what it's doing to our children. And I put my daughter in front of the TV sometimes, but this is our children right now are growing up in a society where they can't get away from technology. Not that technology is bad, just I was a 90s kid. I drank out of a hose and I don't know, played in mud piles and ate worms and stuff like that. But kids don't do that as often. Or
they have virtual world games.
Or even risky play. Let your kids run around the neighborhood. Now we're afraid our children are going to get abducted and murdered or all these things. But no, it's just really interesting. Oh, what is it? Basically, my mom gave it to me, but not to my sister.
Okay. We don't have to get into that.
Into that one. But yes, I am a book person, and I should know the books that I'm reading. Oh, dang.
No, it happens.
It's so good.
And that's why it's the lightning round.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't a very fast response.
So second one, which moment or period in your own life would you like to revisit? is there a period during your teenage years, maybe your childhood, where it would be like, I would love to go back there, even if just for a day?
I would love to go back to my early 20s in Columbia, South Carolina. I would start the day off with a bicycle ride. I was into bicycles. And we lived in like a quadruplex downtown, paid $500 a month. That was wild. And
what year are we talking here?
2012.
Okay. So a very different housing economy.
Yes, very, and it was like not a great home, but it was in a cool neighborhood, and you could bike anywhere, and there was just this little pizza place that all of our friends would go to. We had no responsibilities, and it was dollar slice night and dollar PBRs. I mean, you can't get away from that. What a combo. Or like $2 well drinks or something like that, and you're just kind of like barely 22. 23. I don't know. I just like the friend aspect of it. I had 2 studios. I had like one where I like actually created work and one where I like talked to all the people who would buy your work.
Oh, wow.
So like a smoozy old money.
A schmooze studio?
Studio and then like a
production
studio.
No
one gets to come into the studio. It's like a dungeon, no windows, paint everywhere, fumes, smelling good. But yeah, it's just a highly creative period. And also when I think about my early 20s, I'm always like, oh, those were the good days. Riding bikes and drinking PBRs and
drinking dollar PBRs.
Now I'm lactose intolerant, so like, what is that? Hello, mid-30s. So
I can see the nostalgic appeal. Okay, so now that we've indulged in nostalgia, I want to know the most dangerous thing you've ever done. And for some people, that's going to be like, I went bungee jumping, and for some people, that's going to be like, I went to the supermarket.
Ooh, the most dangerous thing I've ever done. Probably rushing a sorority.
Really? Okay. Was there, some of the more
or whatever? Yeah, rushing a sorority. I think that's what you call it. Yeah, there was just like lots of things that you had to do to, I don't know, earn your worth to be a part of this elite society.
And where was this?
This is in Boone, North Carolina.
Okay.
I essentially, the most dangerous thing I ever did was, it was more done to me. I was pushed off a bridge, blindfolded.
Okay, I'm assuming this
part of rushing for a sorority.
I'm assuming this was into water.
Oh, into water,
okay,
yes.
Okay.
But
I didn't know if they were just trying to psych you out, so they perched you on a bridge, and then the fall wasn't that great.
Oh, could have been bad. Didn't know I was going to go into water or where I was standing, but I would say that was probably the most dangerous thing that has happened to me. Yeah, I don't ever dangerous thing I've ever done.
And that was before your early 20s. So
that was like 19 when it was my mom was like, join a sorority, make friends. And I just got a drinking problem.
And little did you know they would be pushing you off bridges.
Right. Oh, what friendship.
Yeah, probably not the friendship.
Philanthropy. It's okay. It's fine. Hazing is cool. I mean, whatever.
Let's not take that quote out of context. But
friendship
I'm sure
is real in sororities now.
We're so much more enlightened.
Yes.
All right. Finally, what is your most used emoji? And I know that you do use them quite prolifically.
I do. Yeah. My most used emoji is the girl with the hand on the forehead. That's like, shoot.
So you have tons of head slapping moments?
Yeah,
okay.
Lots of head slapping moments. It's like, I forgot that thing, or I usually forget things like appointments and stuff. But I made it here, so.
You did make it here, and on time to boot.
And on time, woohoo! Yeah, no, that's probably the one I use the most.
Cool. Well, Gwyn, I want to thank you so much for coming in today and talking about this. I really appreciate it. And we have not just 33 artists, but almost like 99 artist market coming up to look forward to.
It's crazy to think about that. Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been A Line Around Your Thoughts. My name is EJ Iannelli, and my guest was Gwyn Pevonka, a visual artist and the organizer of 33 Artists Market. More info on Gwyn is available at gwynpevonka.com, and details on the 33 Artists Market, including this weekend's big event, are at 33artistsmarket.com. Another thanks goes out to our episode sponsor, the Northwest Museum of Arts and Culture. The nationally touring exhibition Preston Singletary, Raven and the Box of Daylight features work by the Seattle glass artist based around Tlingit mythologies. Visit northwestmuseum.org for all the info on that. Thanks, too, to our founding sponsor, Roquehart Media SPC, proudly rooted in Spokane and supporting our community with media that makes a difference. For more, visit roquehart.media. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor, please reach out to us via our website at alaytpodcast.com. You can also get updates and engage with us on Mastodon at alaytpodcast@pnw.zone, on Blue Sky at alayt.bsky.social, and Instagram at alayt_podcast. Until next week.